All right, guys, finally the moment is here. We are here to see the Avengers Age of Ultron. This is the Australian premiere. Very excited. Sonia, what are you expecting? A few words?
Oh, look, I think it's going to be pretty cool. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I'm just really keen to see what they do with the Scarlet Witch.
Okay, Al?
Absolutely. Look, I'm very excited as well. I really don't know what to expect, but I have faith in Joss.
I just want action. And I think I'm going to get that. Yeah. All right, let's go.
We all are, with nothing but our wit and our will to save the world. So stand and fight.
No way we all get through this. I got no plans tomorrow night.
I'm always picking up after you boys.
All right, we just got out of the screening and we're going to jump right into it.
Yes.
Sonia, tell us what you think.
I actually really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to Ultron for a while now, and I must admit, I'm very satisfied. My biggest thing was how they were going to deal with Wanda and her powers, because technically, she's magic.
Yeah.
So, but I was really happy with what they did. I love the special effects that they used to kind of signify her magic, and there was a lot of nods to kind of, once she's in her own, how powerful she actually is, which I was really happy with.
Yeah.
I think I got a little bit fatigued about 3/4 of the way through, because I know the type of film it is, I understand the structure of it, but it does get a little wearing when you go big fight, bit of exposition, big fight, bit of a conversation, big fight. Like, after a while, it's like, let's mix it up, let's get a little bit of a different kind of story structure happening, but still, and it's a weird thing to pick on, but the score in this is amazing. And I know it's Danny Elfman, so of course it's going to be amazing, but I thought it really helped to kind of pull the emotional kind of storyline through. You really did start to go in with them when the music started to well up and stuff.
I didn't think it was too overwhelming, which was nice to see. I'm used to seeing a lot of sort of superhero films now with this massive score telling you this is how you should feel, you know, and I thought that was quite subtle, for the most part.
Yeah, so. Overall, I'm really, really happy with this. I love how they dealt with the new characters, because it's always a bit kind of especially ones that you like. Yeah. So I'm really happy. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Al?
Okay, well, yeah, look, I really enjoyed it as well. There's some amazing action in there. Though, I mean, I had a couple of little slight niggles. As the writing overall is very good, but there were a few clangers in terms of the humour. I mean, you're never going to hit 100% of the time. No. But there were a couple in there that you're like, that's a bit more cliche than I would expect Joss Whedon to do. When someone's like, is that the best you can do? And then in comes the army, he's like, you had to ask. Yeah. That's a bit too cliche for me. That said, there were a lot of laugh out loud moments that you would expect from Whedon, some irreverent sort of stuff, which really worked. What I was interested going into this, I was interested to see how the different Quicksilver would work. Having seen Days of Future Past.
Yeah, it's a big question.
Yeah, you know, it's very close together really in terms of when these have come out. So I wanted to see how the powers would be represented, how the character would be represented, and I've got to say, as far as how his super speed was shown, I actually preferred Days of Future Past for that.
Okay.
There's some fantastic scenes of him using his power, and that actually worked better in Days of Future Past. Not that it was bad here, but there has to be a second place. Yeah. In terms of characterization, worked better in this one. Yeah. You know, you really got Pietro and the edge that he had. Yeah. He was a really kind of abrasive kind of guy, which kind of worked in this. Yeah. So I did enjoy that a lot. The relationship between him and his sister also really worked.
It's really good. Yeah. You really did feel like these twins were so intrinsically linked to each other. It was really, really great. And also, his relationship with Hawkeye was great. It was nice to see Hawkeye actually have a character and have a voice, and you get to see that funny Barton.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I missed.
I really enjoyed that Hawkeye line, and just seeing more of his character and exactly the relationship between him and others, and that kind of fostering father kind of type, because sometimes you look at the Avengers and you're like, so what? You can fire a few arrows and these guys are all got super uber duper powers, but you know, there's something else doing. There is something powerful still within him, and
And in Avengers 1, he unfortunately got relegated to basically being, Loki's butt monkey the entire movie, more or less. So that it was a good thing that they gave him more to do.
Yeah.
But look, the best thing about this is the action. I've got to say, the action scenes are pretty spectacular. I mean, we've seen some cool Cap throwing the shield around and stuff in Winter Soldier, but in this, it's taken to another level.
Yeah.
You've got the whole team just getting stuck in, and it's pretty spectacular visually. So if you want some cool action, this delivers it in spades.
Yeah, I think they picked up on that from Days of Future Past. All the mutants using each other, and similarly in this Avengers, they're using each other's powers to advantage when they're down and out, and that really works. There's a whole new dynamic in play, because how many times can you see Cap throw his shield, but if he's throwing it and someone else is kicking it back to him, and it's rebounding, and then
you've got Thor hitting the shield to cause a shockwave, and then throwing somebody up in the air and then swinging them around. They're working together. They clearly know how to fight using each other as a team, and that's why you love these team ups. That's why we love Justice League. That's why we love the Avengers, because they work together to become so much more.
That's right,
and that's seen in this, definitely.
Yeah, and look, story wise, it's pretty good. I was going in thinking it was going to fall flat. I was secretly hoping for something to be awesome, but I was anticipating it to fall flat, but it didn't. I had a lot of fun. There is a bucket load of action, as you said, and the performances by all the actors pretty solid. There's some very touching moments in there, and when we are allowed to pull back from just the constant action, you can see a storyline evolving, or them trying to touch on other things other than
there was a heart to it as well. I think there were the personalities, the relationships were being developed, which you've got to do in a series like this.
So would you say this is a worthy sequel to follow up with? I would say yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's progressed the Avengers beyond what we kind of know them from the first film. I think anyone who was a fan of that is going to like this, and is going to like the way that it's moving forward.
Yeah. Al?
I tend to agree. Is it everything I'd hoped? No. In all honesty, there are a couple of things I would have liked to see done better, but overall, it's massively enjoyable. It just didn't blow my hair back the way the first one did. I think I was just expecting too much. This is still a very solid addition to the Marvel Universe.
Now, there is one question left, and that is, the film sort of hints at taking us in another direction. So do you think that Marvel fans are going to be happy with this direction moving forward with the Avengers?
I think some people are going to be disappointed just because this whole kind of thing of trying to talk about it and not giving anything away.
Don't give it away.
I just think that some people are going to be disappointed just because of what is going to happen, and what they expect.
Yeah.
But I actually think it's going to be really good for the Avengers movie franchise.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing the same film. You have to progress. You have to evolve. So you just need to keep moving on. And I think it's going in the right direction.
Yeah. Okay. Al?
Yeah. Look, I think it's not necessarily. You can't say whether it's going to work, but you can say that it needs to happen.
Yeah.
There needs to be a change. And I mean, we've had these two films. They've gone more or less. It's. Again, we don't want to say too much, but I will say there needs to be, as you say, there needs to be an evolution, there needs to be a development and a moving on in terms of where this franchise is going.
Yeah.
And so they're doing that. They're not shying away from it. They're making that decision that needs to be made.
Yeah, I think so too, because there's only so many parts of the sort of exposition and storylines of each individual characters you can tell, and by moving it forward, then you're going to allow other storylines to develop, free up areas, and
develop the whole world. Because the thing is, the Marvel universe. It's a vast universe, so they need to tell as many stories. They can't keep going on the same stuff. They've got to move in new directions. And will that work? Will it not? We can't say, but it needs to be done.
Awesome. All right, so that's what we thought of the Avengers Age of Ultron. Let us know what you thought on our social, pages, the Facebooks, the YouTubes, everywhere you know how to get hold of us. We'd love to hear your thoughts and, what you thought of the film. Okay, well look who I bumped into. Some more Kapowians here at the Avengers Age of Ultron premiere. What did you think of the film?
Oh my God. Does that sum it up? Just, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Terrifyingly structured and chaotic.
Okay.
Yeah. Joss Whedon has done it again. It's incredible. I absolutely love the way that they sort of played with some more familiar characters and made a twist on them that really worked well with the movie itself.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, explained the verse within which they're creating and destroyed it at the same time.
Right. And what do you think about the new direction, without giving anything away, that they're sort of hinting at with the film?
Look, they've been hinting at it for a very long time in each one of the Marvel-verse movies that have been coming out. But just there's one point in the movie, without giving too much away, where I think everyone who has any knowledge of the Marvel Universe will go...
Oh.
And certainly everyone in our theatre was going, oh my God! Ah!
Yeah, the tiny little end credit scene, Beck and I screamed at the same time, so stick around for that. It's not a Marvel movie until you watch the end credit scene, so yeah,
awesome.
don't leave.
Do you think that this is a great follow-up to the first Avengers? So is this a worthy sequel?
I think so. There were points where you're like, where is this going? Like, my mind is being blown right now, but then Joss brought it all together at the end, and it was incredible. And now I can't wait for the third one. How many years do I have to wait?
Yeah, I know, 2, 3.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see how it all meshes with more of the Marvel movie universe, though, because they're definitely bringing it all closer together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Lovely. Thanks very much.
Thank you.